Yo, what is up, my dudes? This is DevinePlays, and look, I got a face cam again. But anyways, we're gonna be playing this game called Sounds of Her Love. So this is a visual novel. Honestly, I really don't know a whole lot about this game. I found it on Steam, and all I know is that the developers were DS Sans, and the publisher was DevGroup. Other than that, I know nothing about this game. But I thought I'd get into it and try it out for myself, and let's get into it. Please enter a character name. Oh, it went quiet. We're gonna just use my name. Okay. Something is ringing. Why won't it stop? My hand limply reaches out towards the noise, but I can't seem to locate it. Must be around here somewhere. I sense something rigid at my fingertips. Suddenly, I hear a loud crash beside me. The ringing stops. Forcing myself upright, an intense light greets my eyes. Beside me stands a hazy figure I can't make out. Do you mind not making so much noise in the morning? Your sister is still asleep. It's time to wake up. As my eyes adjust to the light, I see my mother standing beside me. I look downwards and see my table lying on the floor. My alarm clock is just next to it, broken into pieces. I'm not cleaning that up. Just get ready for school and come downstairs. I made breakfast. Sounds good to me. My mother walks off. I don't think she's particularly happy. Well, I doubt many parents would be with their children creating such a ruckus. Still, wasn't my fault. I was half asleep, for crying out loud. I pry myself away from the bed sheets and pick up the table and the broken alarm clock off the floor. I check what the clock once read and conclude it's almost 7 a.m. Unfortunately, today is a Monday, so it's back to school with me. Although it's cliche, I'm not really looking forward to it. It's that I dislike it, but you'd think after is this supposed to be it's not that I dislike it? But you'd think after transferring here, things would have been a lot more lively. So far, nothing out of the ordinary has happened. Though, I can't really expect life to be like that. This isn't a manga after all. Opening my drawers, I pull out my uniform. It's still as good as new. I haven't had much time to wear it in. I've only been here a week. For an international school, the uniform is quite generic. I was expecting something more prestigious. I guess this is still Japan after all. Even though I've lived here all my life, my mother was dead set on sending me here. She's not a native, so she at least wanted me to connect with her side of the family. Despite her premise that getting in touch with my I can't read heritage was a good idea. The school isn't even English, it's Welsh. I'm pretty sure that's the country north of England. I don't think there's much difference anyway. After finishing doing up my blazer, I hear a shout from downstairs. Son, your breakfast will go cold at this rate. You may as well let me have yours if you're going to waste it. Go for it. Just go for it. Letting out a sigh, I close the door to my room and head to join my parents. Reaching the dining room, my mother and father greet me with warm smiles. Maybe not so much my mother. I still think she's pretty pissed. My father gives an empty chair a haughty slap, still smiling all the while. Sit down, my son. We have a hefty breakfast your mother would approve of. Well, I mean, she made it, right? Of course I made it after all, yeah, see? In front of me sits a traditional English breakfast. Eggs, toast, beans, sausages, and the like. I don't think I can eat all of this. Egg sounds good. Toast sounds good. Sausages sound good. Beans, Depends on what kind of beans. The empty chair is pulled out from beside me. I guess my sister finally woke up. It's about dang time. Wake up! I'm just kidding. When it comes to the mornings, she's not very talkative. Or noticeable, to say the least. I'm sure she'll fire up later, though. Ah, yes, my beautiful family has gathered at last. My sister acknowledges my father with a quick glance and starts eating her breakfast in silence. Tell me, Devin, how are your studies? Was that hefty fee worth it? No. The school is private and teaches a foreign curriculum, so tuition fees are quite large. Luckily, my father can pay for it, and it's only for my final year. It's going okay. The initial buzz of it wore off after the third day. I guess it's like a normal school, not much different from the ones here in Japan. I did have an experience at a traditional Japanese high school, but due to our relocation to Tokyo, I had to transfer. If there was one noticeable comparison, it's the students. Most of them aren't natives, and a lot more are quite full of themselves. Even I'm only half Japanese. Really? That much for a normal school? What was the point of that fee then? You want our son to have the best education possible, right? That, and he's closer to my side of the family. Reasonable. Reasonable. Tell me this though, son. Have you been speaking to any girls at least? No. Are you really asking him that? Both my parents engage in a stare-off. Things like this happen all the time. For them, this is only a bit of a banter. Why is my voice doing that? Checking the clock on the wall, I realize I'm a bit behind schedule. I give my family a farewell and head toward the door. Towards the door. Wait, that clock is... What? What's wrong with the clock? I hear my sister say something just as I leave, though she doesn't chase after me to tell me. It was strange to hear her at this time of day, but I guess I can't fret about it now. I continue on a journey I'm only just getting used to. What's wrong with the clock? I need to know! The street leading to the school is particularly empty. Only a couple of locals are walking by, and the number of students is quite low. Am I early or am I late? Checking my watch, I realized that I had left considerably early. I guess the clock at home was a bit fast. A faint noise distracts me from my wrist. Oh, well, hello! Ahead of me is a female student, presumably from my school, picking up the contents of her bag off the floor. I guess she dropped it. Nah, she just put it on the ground. I consider helping her, but by the time I move my feet towards her, she has already finished and continues onwards to school. She rubs the back of her head and her braids sway softly in the wind. Just as I pass where she was standing, I notice a small card on the floor. Instinctively, I pick it up. In my hands is a library card with what I assume to be her name on it. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this name. Saradwen? Oh, I'm pretty sure I butchered that. Considering this is a Welsh school, I guess that's the origin of her name. I look up and she is nowhere in sight. Oh crap. Like the great Nathan Drake. Quickly setting myself off, I run towards the entrance of the school. I just hope I can catch up to her. It doesn't take me long to get her in my sight. I call out to her. I'm just not gonna say the name because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna butcher it. You dropped this! Oh, she spoke! She turns around, flustered, and I approach her with a ragged breath. Here you go.
Thank you.
Oh man, that sounds so weird. Oh man, that's gonna be weird. It's like I'm actually talking to someone. She gives me a shy response as I hand her back the card.
How did you...
I'm secretly stalking. Alright. It doesn't look like she's very comfortable with talking to me. It's on the card.
Oh,
I swear, I'm not a creeper. I swear.
it's pronounced Carrie.
Carrie!
Like a cat.
Okay. Sorry. My bad.
Don't worry.
About a thing. Carrie still... Wait, she said Carrie, right? Not Sari. Carrie still looks rather uneasy. I guess some people just aren't that fluent socializing with others. Well, it's a good thing you got it back. We're both pretty early, so it would have taken a while for someone else to find it. By then, they probably would have given it to Lost and Found.
Thank you.
She thanks me again, and her eyes are averted slightly away from my direction.
This card is important to me.
Oh, okay. Maybe put it in a safer place then next time. Yeah, put it in a safer place. You wouldn't risk losing it then. I know I don't have the right to tell her what to do with her stuff, but things like this are, you know, common sense.
I use it a lot. It's easier for me to reach it quickly.
Also makes sense. I do the same thing. I mean, I don't know where she put it, but I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you just need easy access. Pull out the pocket. My phone. I guess she's an avid book fan. She must be quite smart. That, or she just likes books. I decide to continue the conversation. Choices. Choices. Decisions. What sort of books are you interested in? I guess everyone needs a hobby. What sort of books are you interested in? Fiction or non-fiction?
I read a variety.
Oh, really? Good for you. Well, that was a short answer.
I want to study
Get it out.
literature.
She looks at me as if she expects me to belittle her, though I completely deny her expectations. Sounds great. It's good to have something you're passionate about. Her lips move. I guess she can't stop herself from smiling. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read. Moving my feet again, I set off towards the entrance of the school, turning around to face Carrie before I make any sufficient progress. It's still early, but we should still go to class. It's a bit cold after all. Well, it's actually it's really warm in here. I think I'm starting to sweat a bit. You guys didn't need to know that. But anyways.
I need to check what class I'm
Oh,
in.
really? Me too! She doesn't know what class she's in? School started a week ago. Don't tell me she has amnesia. Or maybe she's just transferring in? Carrie shyly passes me and heads toward the school, and I follow suit, heading towards my class. Oh, okay, I guess I do know. I guess she... Oh, man, there's something in my face. My hair? Probably. I guess she was a pretty interesting person. Pretty interesting? Anyways, classes are well underway, and the class is filled with a widespread sense of lethargy. It is a Monday after all, and lunch is just around the corner. Does anyone really want to learn about the structure of the inner mitochondrial membrane right before lunch? I probably wouldn't really be paying attention, but that's just me. Don't do that. Study hard. Stay in school. I lean back in my chair and stare down at my notes, which are just a little more than scribbles on a sparse page. In the end, I can't really say I expected anything different when transferring here. After all, the basic principles of teaching are the same wherever you go. There's no reason as to why this school would be any different, though the extra language lessons are a pain in the butt. Just as I let out a small but definitely noticeable yawn, the teacher glares sharply in my direction. Uh-oh. Bored, are you, Devin? No, sir. Oh, I was assuming this was a female teacher. Oh, that's a surprise. How about you answer the question at the bottom of page 3, then? I look at the closed book on my desk and realize what the teacher is referring to. I definitely haven't done a good job at pretending to work. In real life, I was great at that. I was great at looking busy. In school. Yeah. Still, I oblige and turn to page 3, moving my eyes towards the bottom of the page. I find a question that's somewhat relevant to what I managed to hear during the lesson. What is the space between the two mitochondrial membranes called? Is that the matrix? No, that's the bit inside. Well, boy, do you have an answer? The mitochondrial gap. How should I play this? Should I play stupid, or should I play how I would actually play? Or how I would actually answer? I think that sounds more fun. If I don't know, I wouldn't say anything. But refuse to answer is not necessarily what I would do. It's just, I just don't say nothing. Refuse to answer. No, I don't, sir. My thoughts slip out through my mouth as I vocalize my distaste of the lesson. Uh-oh. That's your answer, Devin? I'm sure the headmaster would like to hear it. He'll be amazed by your outstanding intellect. I swear, that's not how I act. The class falls silent and I am ushered out of the room. The teacher takes me to the headmaster's office and I can't help but feel that my classmates owe me big time. I've done them a favor. They get to screw around while the teacher is gone. Knocking on the door, I get a sharp glare from the man beside me. All I did was refuse to answer his question, though his gaze makes it look like I murdered one of his relatives. The door swings open and the rotund, graying headmaster stands before us. My teacher briefly explains the situation to him. Mr. Hughes, don't you know the saying, boys will be boys? That's another name I'm gonna butcher, but Llewellyn? No buts. Let the boy go. For goodness sake. Let him go. No buts? He sure seemed like a butt man to me, with the way he looks at some of the female staff. Oh. Uh-oh. My teacher sighs and tells me to head off to lunch early. I guess he can't be bothered to deal with me after all this fuss. To be honest, I regret saying anything in the first place. Yeah, don't talk like that to your teachers. Or don't talk about your teachers that way. Chatter radiates from the swath of people in the cafeteria. Cafeteria! Did I really just say that? I weave my way through those standing around and people walking in the opposite direction. The line is long, as always. Unlike most schools, the food here is actually quite good, so naturally, it's in high demand. I join this queue of students left famished by the morning lessons. Time slows as the line slowly inches forward. All of this for a sandwich? Preposterous. I know, mate. They're lush, aren't they? Made with 100% Welsh beef. That's what they say anyway. I find it hard to believe they would import that stuff to Japan just for this one school. Eventually, I'm the one gazing at what's on offer at the counter. To be honest, that guy was right. The beef here sure is lush. It's quite a prestigious school. I buy the sandwich and stuff it into my bag. This place is quite packed, so I doubt I'd find a place to sit down. So, in the cafeteria at my school, or my high school, we were allowed to go to I always took my lunch to either outside or to our performing arts center, and I just sat in there and ate. I usually ate by a trash bin. People thought that was weird. I thought it was convenient because it was a little secluded area where no cameras could see me, and then there's a trash bin just sitting there. So I sat down right next to the trash bin. I know I probably looked like a loser, but again, it was convenient. You know, I just sat down, eat my food real quick. Oh, I'm done. Bloop. Trash taken care of. Anyways, just as I'm about to leave, I spot a table that's actually empty. Well, almost. I notice someone familiar eating by herself. Oh, is it this person? It's that girl from earlier. Carrie, wasn't it? I wonder if I should approach her. Well, I mean, she's like the only one you know. You might as well. I hardly know her. Well, I mean, true, but again, the only person you know. But I kind of want to sit down. It's cold outside. I think for me, regardless, I probably would have sat outside anyways. Approach her. You know what? I may as well approach her. She's alone after all. I've been in that situation plenty of times this past week. I know how it feels. One step at a time, I make my way over to the table. Her silky braids gently rest by her sides, and unlike before, her braids only move due to her actions. As I draw closer, she takes notice of my presence and directs her head towards me. She hesitates to speak, but I planned on taking the initiative from the beginning. I keep wanting to say Sherry now. Hi Carrie, it's me, from earlier. I don't think I ever got a chance to introduce myself. I try my best to avoid sounding nervous. Walking up to a girl sitting by herself is pretty noticeable to everyone else in the hall. Yeah, it is. My name is Devin.
Hello. Thanks for...
Oh, no problem. She is still pretty on edge. Perhaps I should just apologize to her and make a quick retreat. No, don't do that. No. I'm sorry for walking up to you so suddenly.
Don't worry. I don't normally have people to eat with. So I'm glad.
Why does she talk so slow? Oh my goodness. She's like, don't worry. I don't normally have people to eat with. Anyways, onwards. She abruptly stops speaking after giving me a sign of gratitude. Her cheeks turn a rosy shade of red, and she directs her eyes away from me. I guess she's embarrassed. It did strike me as odd as to why she's alone. Aside from her lack of self-confidence, she seems like a fairly nice person.
I had an illness.
Okay, so that's why. She goes straight onto why she's so alone. I never asked her, but I'm glad she thinks of me as close enough to explain it to me, even though we've just met. Though given that she seems so introverted, maybe I am the only person that is.
For a while, I was immobilized. As recently as last week.
Oh. Dang, it's getting getting kind of sad now. That mood shift. Is that why she told me earlier that she needed to find out what class she was in? Her face continues to grow to deeper shades of red. Maybe I should converse with her to ease her explanation. Though with her personality, I don't know if it'll actually help. I can understand. I guess I'm new here, so I don't really have anyone to eat with. It's not really as relatable as an illness, though. I kind of regret opening my mouth. Yeah, what was that? What was that? Hers, though, continues moving as her lips gently let out her unstable speech patterns.
I've been here since last year.
That's actually a pretty sad thought. If she's been here this long, how come she's this alone? Even with an illness, you'd expect her friends would still speak to her afterwards. Yeah, after a year? You would think you would have at least one person. Though I am making assumptions, for all I know, she could be good friends. I'm pretty sure they meant to say good friends with a classmate that just doesn't eat in school or is absent. My gut feeling goes with my former conclusion in spite of that idea. She delicately twirls the hair at the tip of her braid nervously during the lag times of our conversation. I can't really think of anything to say, so I decide to do something instead. It's bold, but I tear a sheet of paper from one of my books and scribble my phone number on it. Whoa! All right. If you ever need anyone to keep you company, you could just call me anytime. Or if you see me around school, just say hi. Good job. Being a friendly person. That's good. I doubt she'll do either, anyway. To downplay the forwardness of my actions, I think of the cheesiest quote I can and continue speaking. Birds of a feather flock together.
You're giving me your...
Was that a bad idea? Fine, give it back. Don't take it. Though her voice is quiet, I can still sense she's a bit shaken up. I thought giving it to her would be acceptable in this day and age. People are practically dependent on their phones now. Still, giving your number to someone of the opposite sex will probably remain direct for years to come. Yeah.
Thank you.
For some reason, she thanks me. Her pale fingers reach out towards her bag, and she gently takes out a rather pink and cute-looking phone. I didn't know anyone still used phone straps, but a daffodil charm swings in the air as she enters my number, her body shaking slightly all the while.
You're the first in the non-relative section.
Wow. Finishing her sentence with a smile, she gazes at me. I smile back, of course, which in itself takes me a bit of courage. But her eyes quickly dart away to break our state of eye contact. She goes red again, and her mouth is slightly ajar, leaving her lips to glisten as the sunlight enters from the windows beside us. The chimes of the bell resonate throughout the room. I guess it's time to get prepared to go to class again. It bothers me that I have to face my class again after the stunt I pulled earlier, but luckily, I won't be seeing that teacher until next week. Carrie stands and shyly looks towards me as if expecting me to say something, which, luckily for her, I do. I enjoy speaking to her, even if she doesn't say very much. Like I said, feel free to contact me anytime, though right now I guess we should head back to class.
Okay.
Don't text me during class. You're gonna get me in trouble, then you're gonna get yourself in trouble. She trots along by my side, slightly behind me, probably to keep her blushing face hidden. I guess. Or keep her blushing face hidden, I guess. She seems to have a habit of going red. Alright, I think I'm gonna end this first episode here. So far, I'm into it. I'm kinda into it. I'm interested to see what else happens in the rest of the story. Definitely will come back to this. I know I said that about Katawa Shoujo, but and I know I have like 2 different visual novels going on at the same time now, but this one I feel a little bit more interested in, just because maybe it's because it's my name, I don't know, but yeah, so far I like it. Not bad, not bad. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.